Welcome to the Quantum Body Podcast, where transformation isn't just skin deep. We blend manifestation with functional health so you can heal your body, shift your mindset, and create the life and body you actually want.
Hosted by two functional health coaches and self healing rebels, the podcast is your space to learn how to regulate your nervous system, rebalance your hormones, and rewire your reality. Each week, we dive into the root causes of weight loss resistance, hormone havoc, stress, and inflammation, and how to shift your body from stuck to responsive. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but nothing is changing, this show is for you. We believe that healing is multidimensional, and so are you.
This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition, nor is it a substitute for personalized medical advice from a licensed provider.
Yay.
All right.
Well,
Let me get
happy
my.
Friday, everybody.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's been a week.
it has been a week. And you know what's so weird is like it feels like it's been a week, and yet it also feels like it's only been like 2 days since the weekend.
Seriously.
It has been a week. And you
Oops,
know
hold
what's so
on.
weird is
Let
like,
me try to turn this down. All right, so I'm trying to jump into your live, and
eh,
it says that I've joined. Oh, it says request to join here. Let me do that.
okay.
Send request, and then I'll just turn the volume down on that so there's no feedback.
Yeah, I probably have to do the same. There we go. There we go. I think we got this. For anybody watching either of these, we're recording our podcast at the same time we're going live on Instagram.
Oh man, see, I thought I had my volume down. Oh, you get all of Scarlett's artwork in the background of my IG
Oh,
live.
that's so cute.
I love it.
Her
I
little
love
pig
it.
is so cute.
Oh my God, she's obsessed with all things art. She's always drawing. I have like all of her little artworks here. She's so cute. Anybody that's like an OG follower, you know that Scarlett probably drew your pet at one point.
That's
Wow.
so cute.
Yeah. All right. So I'm so excited to just be recording another one with you. I love, love, love our conversations, and it's cool that we can do it on IG now too.
Yeah, I love this. We haven't gone live in so long, and I love that we can combine the two, our podcast going live, all of that sort of fun stuff.
Yeah. So it'll be cool to see who jumps on too. But we were like in the depths of like the best conversation yesterday, and Chandra was like, "Oh, we should make this a podcast episode." And of course I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And then we both jumped on the podcast and we're like, "Wait, what was that?"
I know.
What was that? But I think the gist of it was just kind of like getting in your own way through the functional health space, through the business space, through your mindset. And I was kind of talking about a couple of clients that I had been dealing with in my coaching business. And just people where you get to the point where you're like, I don't know how else to help you.
Yeah, if they're not willing to help themselves, how do I help you? If you're not willing to take initiative, like I can give you the best plan in the world, I can hold your hand step by step, I can give you all the mindset tools and the nervous system regulation and all of that. But if you're not willing to do the things, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah, it's really, really hard. And it's always, I think it's the most difficult part of coaching, either in business or in health or contest prep or anything, when you get to the point where you feel like when you feel like you want it more than the other person involved. And I
Yeah.
think that's true for like any sort of relationship. When you feel like you want it more than the other person, it's like just creates this big imbalance and it's so hard to move forward.
Yeah, it's impossible. And it's funny, talking about this because we do see this in both of our businesses, whether it's coaching, whether it's the business side of it. It's like that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's like, I can give you all of the tools, I can show you the way, but if you're not willing to do anything, like you're never going to have the success. And I'm literally set you up. I'm handing it to you. I'm saying, here, take this, take the success. And you're like, nope. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was what's that famous I'm gonna really sound like an ignorant person here, but what's that famous painting? I think it's like Michelangelo where like God is like reaching out and then like the other hand has like a little limp finger. I was watching
Yeah,
this creator. Who's the other hand in that painting? Help me out. Do you know?
I can't remember.
I'm obviously freaking failing at this, but it's like the most famous painting, right? And then so I was watching this other creator and she was talking about how like, like God is like reaching with like all of his might and he's like stretching and he's like, all you have to do is like just touch my hand and you can have all of the creative power and everything. And the other hand was like, and it's like just such a metaphor for life. Like, you just have to like just straighten out your little finger and you can have it. Like just meet us halfway.
Yeah. And that's such a good example. I love that painting. I saw a video about that the other day. And it was literally, yeah, like just stretch the finger, just stretch the finger just a little bit. And it's just so true. And like,
Oh, somebody's saying there's a lot of echo.
oh,
It's so sad.
that is sad.
I don't know how to fix that. Do you have any ideas of how to fix that?
No, I don't. Maybe if we move things, I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know, Tim, do you have any ideas?
Maybe if we turn down the computer volume, be less feedback. Can still understand you. Well, I'm glad you can still understand us.
Yeah, I'll turn it down and then kind of move things away so they're not
Yeah,
so close to each other. Maybe that'll help.
that's what I did.
Did that
Does
help,
that
Tim?
help, Tim? That work?
Yay.
Yay. Awesome.
Thank you for the feedback. 'Cause this is the first time we're like live on multiple platforms trying to figure it out, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. I Yeah, I had this client that I was talking to this week and she's somebody that I know and love and respect so much and she does a lot of really awesome things in her life and the one thing that she's not doing is showing up for herself. And it's just so hard because like week after week after week she's like, "Oh, I just need to get it together. I just need to get it together." And it's hard because it's like, you don't need a new plan. You just need to treat the plan that you have like it fucking matters.
Yeah. You need to treat yourself like you matter.
Yeah.
And I think the tough part is because like from a sort of neurological perspective, what is going on is like your subconscious brain is designed to keep you safe, right? So
Yeah.
when you're in these behaviors of self-sabotage, it's because your subconscious mind is going, this is something new. We're not safe to do that. And so it sabotages, it shuts down. It's why you can't, move past that. And so that's where nervous system regulation comes in because you have to make the body feel safe enough to change. And so I totally understand when clients get into these patterns where they're sabotaging themselves, they're not following through, they're not showing up for themselves because like your subconscious brain acts like a bouncer and it's saying like, hey, nope, you can't get in here because this is new, this is scary, we're not safe to do this, even though you know it's safe to make these changes, but your brain equates safe with what is known. And so,
Hmm.
you have to make your body safe. But if I tell you and I explain this to you and I say, like, look, here's the nervous system regulation, this is what you need to do, and you respond with like, no, that's not it. Like, I'm safe, like I'm good, I'm not stressed, those typical responses, it's like, well, then nothing's gonna change. Like you've already proven you can't stick to a plan. Well, this is what's going on. You have to do something. Like do the nervous system regulation, show up for yourself in at least one little way, because then that's what's going to change your life. But if you can't even do that, then how are you going to do the big things?
Yeah. And to me, it's always like a telltale sign because usually those people want something more extreme.
Yeah,
They're like, okay, well, can I do, this more extreme step? Can you give me something else that's more extreme? And it's always so hard because you just want to tell, like, if you can't follow the basics or the foundation yet, like following the extreme for a short amount of time, even though it seems like, okay, I just need this push to like get me back. But if you have to go extreme for a short amount of time, you're going to rebound harder on the other side,
yeah.
you know?
And like if you can't stick to something basic, how are you going to stick to the extreme? Like that's the other flip side, right? I mean, we are talking about about clients who are like, oh, well, give me the flush or give me a bigger deficit or give me this. And it's like, if you can't show up consistently, how are you going to do any of those things? And also, my job as a coach is to keep you healthy and, functioning properly and be working towards your goals. I don't know what your body needs because you have not stuck to anything for long enough for me to get biofeedback. So,
That
like,
part.
until you can actually stick to something, I don't know what your body needs. I have zero biofeedback to go on except for that you eat like an asshole.
And you know what, too, just to kind of piggyback on that, right? Where when you get the check-ins and they're like, oh, I was 80% on plan, or I was mostly on plan, or I didn't go crazy. And it's like, but like I think what's and my coach actually was talking about this the other day, but what's not spoken about enough is you following 80% of the plan is not ever going to get you 80% of the results.
No.
Like you'll be lucky if you get any results if you're only following a portion of it.
And
Like it,
also, what does 80% mean to you? Like, I always ask my clients this when they check in because, a lot of times, like, I have a scale on my check-in forms, and it's like on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you do with your meal plan or your nutrition this week? And sometimes, like I always tell them, the more detail you give me, the better. But a lot
mhm.
of times they'll give themselves an 8 or a 7 or a 6. And then the comments, instead of telling me what's going on, or it's like, oh, well, I was mostly on plan, or like, it wasn't that bad, or I didn't eat like an asshole. And it's like, okay, like, I'm glad to hear those things, but why are we giving ourselves just a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10? Like, what does that mean? Where was the discrepancies? How do we make it a 10 out of 10?
Right.
But like that means something different to everyone because if you're calling it an 8 out of 10 and yet you went off plan every day, to me that's a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, and if you can't follow your plan, there's something deeper happening.
Yeah.
Like one week, we're all gonna have crazy weeks. We're all gonna have like some shit storm, something happens, and you're like, okay, I had rice cakes instead of rice, or I was whatever, my food was in my cooler and it spoiled, so I had to make a decision on the fly. Like we're all gonna have like these things that happen that knock us off. But if you can't consistently follow your plan, there's something deeper going on, whether it be nervous system dysregulation, something functional off, causing like crazy blood sugar swings, or something is going on. And so we have to kind of dig a little deeper. My coach actually, he gave a really cool analogy. He was like, when somebody says that like they're mostly on plan or they followed most of the things or they only veered off 1 or 2 times throughout the week, he's like made 1 or 2 substitutions. He's like, think of it like this: if you're 35 or plus, which most of my audience is, he's like,
Yeah.
if you're 35 plus, you remember the times when like you used to like print off instructions to like get to somebody's house, like directions, like to go to whatever your destination was. Or somebody would tell you, like, take a right at the stop sign, or at the yellow house, go straight. If you hit the bridge, you've gone too far, like directions like this. He was like, if you miss 1 or 2 of those steps, you're going to be in a completely different area. He's like, you're not
Yeah,
going to end up where you're trying to go. And he's like, so you have to
exactly.
think of your training and your nutrition the same way. Like, if you're making substitutions here and there and like 1 or 2, he was like, you could end up in a totally different realm,
Yeah.
and then you're expecting to like wind up at the same place as somebody that follows the plan 100%.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was like, man, that's a
I
good
like
analogy.
that analogy. It like brought me back to my MapQuest days
I
of having
know.
to print out in directions.
I was talking to my kid and I was like, man, like now, like I put in everything in my gyps. Like
Yeah.
I'll go to the gym. I go there every single day. It goes in my gyps. It just pops up and whatever. And not that I don't know how to get there, but I don't know. And so I was telling him, I was like, man, we used to have to like go on the computer, wait for dial-up internet, find the directions, print them out, then drive whilst changing our CDs and stick
Yeah.
shift car, like rolling down the window, reading instructions, trying to figure out how to get to our friend's house.
I know. It's so funny to think about. And I remember like long distance trips where like you'd have like fucking 10 pages of instructions and you're like, did I miss turn off 672? And oh,
Or the big maps that were,
Yeah,
like, in everybody's glove boxes.
which I still don't know how to read a map. Like, that's embarrassing to admit, but I don't.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
MapQuest was better for me than Maps.
But it's so hard, and so, I don't know, I think it becomes really, really difficult because everybody's always, fixated on balance, and if you look at, like, what does balance mean? It means you're doing everything mediocre. You're
Yeah.
not doing anything great, everything's getting mediocre attention, you're doing everything in your life mediocre, like, you're not excelling anywhere. And so when you get to the point where you're overweight or like functionally your health is off or your hormones are dysregulated, like you can't just show up mediocre. You can't just show up how a normal person would and expect above average results.
But I also like to me when I think of balance, right? I don't even think like of that being mediocre. I think that's like balancing your goals, your desires, your, with like not burning out, right? So making sure that you have the tools to be at that high level. Um, but I wouldn't consider a normal person balanced either. Like, if we consider what is normal in today's society, whether it's eating habits, exercise habits, consumption habits, none of that is normal. That is all very dysregulated, right? Like,
Hmm.
what our normal population does is absolutely fucked up. And I was telling you about this with my one client that I was talking to the other day. And she's somebody that plays a lot of macro Tetris. And we were talking about clients that do that. And, I told her to like reel it in, just one treat per day. The rest should be whole foods, single ingredient foods. And she goes, oh, one extreme to another. And I'm like, that is not extreme. I'm like, the problem with society is that they think that is extreme. Eating whole foods, eating single ingredient foods, that may be
Having
seen
a
as
treat every day
extreme.
sounds extreme to me.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, to me, the problem is like what is actually healthy and actually moderation, having a little treat here and focus mostly on whole foods. That is not extreme. That is moderation,
Yeah,
right? Like true health comes from eating single ingredient foods. The fact that we've gotten so far away from that as a society, that's what's fucked up. That's what's dysfunctional. The fact
yeah,
that we're calling balance eating shit every day, that's fucked up. Like, that's not balance. That's dysfunction.
yeah, yeah. And two, I mean, if you look at go to Walmart, go walk around the mall, go to the beach. I live at the beach, go to the beach and walk around. Like, do you want to look at like everybody that you see? Like, is
Yeah.
that the way that you want to look? Then sure, go out and be like everybody else. But if you're saying like I want to look and feel and be like, above average, then you're not going to be able to eat every meal for taste.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation actually with a client this morning and I was like, and she had said, like this food isn't my favorite and I don't like this food and she's dealing with some gut health issues and just some leaky gut and so her food selection is it needs to be kind of closer monitored than the average person. And otherwise she's going to keep exacerbating this, it's going to keep getting worse, we're going to keep having flares and it's just going to be constantly like chasing our tails. And she was like, "Oh, but I don't like this and I don't like this and I don't like this." And I was like, "Okay, and like like we've painted ourselves into this corner now because of the eating habits and lifestyle and stuff that we've been living. Like we don't have a lot of options. And so if we want to fix this, then we do have to tighten some stuff up." And she's like, "Well, I don't know how I'm going to follow a meal plan if I don't love all the food." And I was like, "Listen, I, for example, don't like beef. I eat it twice a day." Like I found a way to cook it and season it in a way that makes it palatable, but it's definitely not my favorite. And I was like,
Yeah.
"And I just got white fish on my meal plan." Blech, blech.
Yeah.
But I will choke it down. Like, I will eat it. And I was, every meal isn't going to be like this flavorful, like taste experience. That's not what normal is.
Well, and I just think like it's just fucked up that we've gotten to this place that like people are like, I need the crap, right? I need the chips. I need
We're
the processed
full-grown
foods.
adults that don't eat vegetables.
Yeah, I won't eat vegetables. I don't like fruit. I'll only eat this. I'll only eat that. And and not even from like a what you want your body to look like perspective, or a taste perspective, but like, how do you want your body to function? The reason why North Americans are so metabolically fucked up, for lack of a better word, is because of the shit they eat. Right? There's a reason why obesity is an epidemic. There's a reason why everybody is metabolically unsound. There's a reason why over the last 20, 30, 40 years, our lab ranges have shrunk. And, there's a reason why everybody is so unhealthy. There's a reason why IBS is on the rise and autoimmunity is on the rise. And there's all of these mystery illnesses that keep going on the rise and stuff like that. It's because of how people eat, right?
Mhm.
Because our eating habits are so fucked up. And it's like, so until you just accept the fact that we aren't supposed to eat like assholes, well, then you're just going to keep being sicker and sicker, right? Like, we're just going to keep watching the population get sicker. And I know, like, not everybody's going to think like you or I, where we're like, okay, I don't like white fish. It's in my meal plan. I'll eat it anyways. Like, I'm just going to suck it up. But at the same time, like, we have to stop prioritizing as food as the place we get our dopamine.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think what's normalized is, and I see it all the time on my Instagram feed and my social media feed, is like, oh, I've had a bad day. I need a sweet treat.
Yeah.
It's like it's not, it's just it's so dysregulated. It's so dysregulated, and I get it. And everybody likes a little sweet treat, but at the same time, you have to also realize and take accountability. If you've had a lifetime of sweet treats, and now you're at this place where you literally can't stand what you look in the mirror and see. You can't stand how you feel when you're getting dressed. You can't stand your energy levels. You have to take some, like you say, radical self-accountability and say,
Yeah.
"Okay, I've had enough sweet treats. I can go a little bit without it to correct course here." Like,
Like, you and I have talked about this personally before, is where we talk about our idea of a sweet treat has changed a lot,
so
right?
much.
Like, our sweet treats are not everybody else's sweet treats, right? Like, a good protein cookie or something like that is really nice. The other day, I wanted a sweet treat so bad. You know what I got? Raisins. I haven't had raisins in
You're like
forever. I
97 years
fucking
old.
love raisins. I was like, I was so excited to eat raisins. That was my sweet treat.
That's hilarious. Although, you
Yeah.
know what? I mean, what slaps would be like, you could air fry some pineapple and drizzle some honey on it with a little bit of flaky salt, like berries and Cool Whip. Chef's kiss.
Yeah. And like,
Chef's
I
kiss.
will usually always choose fruit over like a traditional sweet treat. Like, I just love fruit. I could all of it, all of it.
I love, love, love cookies. Cookies are like my downfall. However, I've now gotten to the point, like through this whole journey, where I don't like the way cookies make me feel.
No.
And so, like, as much as I love the taste for like that 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the best 5 minutes of my whole life, it's orgasmic. After, when I'm like bloated and distended and not feeling great, I'm like, well, fuck. Like, was that actually worth it? I don't know. And so
Yeah.
now I save, for like special occasions and whatnot, because I don't want to walk around feeling like a bag of dicks.
Well, and I think that even about, when we talked about this yesterday about like protein treats and stuff like that, right? Because a lot of those, they have artificial sweeteners in them, and
Hmm.
they have xanthan gum, and they have other things that are hard on your gut lining. And, there's people that literally like protein bars and the protein treats and protein chips and all that shit. They're eating this shit every day in and day out. And
Yeah.
it's like, no wonder your gut's a mess. Because, like, as much as I love those every now and again, yeah, they make my gut hurt because those are things that we're not supposed to have every day.
Well, there's just so many chemicals that your body doesn't know what to do with or how to process, or it certainly doesn't process efficiently. And when I was like first starting, the very first ever bodybuilding coach that I had, she's incredible and she taught me a lot, but she was macro based. And so I took full advantage of that. And I was I was like my page, I used to share recipes every single day of like how to make the most delicious things fit into your macros. And looking back, like I never felt like I had any bloating or distension or like any issues. And I would have like argued with you like, no, protein powder doesn't bother me at all. Like you're crazy. Like sorry you have a weak ass gut. Like I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you. But then when I started with Scooby and it was very much like whole foods, you know, very much like the ingredient selection matters. And then I got certified as a functional nutritionist and like just learned about like ingredients. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid, shave my head, like let me go all in. And I 100% like stayed away from powders completely. Like didn't use any protein powders, didn't use anything that wasn't a single ingredient food. And what I noticed is my waist just got so much smaller. Like it just got so much smaller. I don't feel like I'm gassy or bloated or distended when like I eat a protein bar, but you definitely like see a difference in like the thickness
Yeah.
of my waist, which is crazy. So there's like obviously gas being produced somewhere, but
Yeah.
it's not like I'm like I would never say like, oh, I just, you know, like, oh, they bloat me out or I feel so bad. But when like after paying attention to my body and my physique, there's definitely a big difference in my midsection.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. And I think a lot of those things, they're not going to bug you immediately, but when they become staples in your diet, they
And
are.
over time,
Yeah. And that's
and
when you
two, my
start to
waist has gotten
notice.
smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And
And a lot of people, especially because so much of that stuff has the added fiber to it. And so then you're
yeah.
all of a sudden eating 30, 40, 50 grams of fiber in a day, which is going to lead to dysbiosis over time, right? When you're just feeding up things that shouldn't be fed up or, the good bacteria getting it out of balance. But that's when all of a sudden you're eating that stuff and it's like, oh, I'm not as regular as I normally was. And like maybe I don't feel super bloated, but like things aren't moving the way they should be. It's like, well, yeah, because you're eating a bunch of shit you shouldn't be eating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And I definitely have noticed a difference. And then too, you know, I feel like I like do stay relatively good composition, like even, you know, deep into my off seasons, like I am not like walking around like, oh, I'm like, you know, sloppy. Whereas before, I definitely felt sloppy in my off seasons, but I was playing macro Tetris and
Yeah.
eating like a lot of stuff like, let me macro this in. And then two, I had a client of mine and she's very macro based, which is very rare for me. I don't like a lot of my clients to be macro based. There's usually some sort of structure. Not that we can't do macros, but usually I'll like give macros with with a side of structure.
Yeah,
And
same. I
with
always
her,
have
she's relatively
guidelines.
newer and she was talking about how she, you know, wasn't seeing results fast enough and so I started going deep into her food log and she was, you know, 5 or 6 protein shakes a day and granola and like crap on the side. It was like, baby girl, let's just try for like 1 week to just do whole foods only. And then she did whole foods only. Her metabolism was fired up. She was starving. She had good energy. Her scale dropped down. Her waist went down, like all in like inside of 7 days. And I was like, your food selection really does truly matter.
And it's funny because like you, when I started this journey, I was a macro Tetris player as
Wizard.
well. Like I did the protein treats, I did all of that shit, the protein bars, all of that stuff. And something same as with you, right? Over my time with Scooby getting into functional health, I started to realize like it's not just macros, it's not just calories in, calories out. Like your food selection absolutely matters. And when it comes to changing your body composition, the food you eat matters more than anything else. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is like when you eat whole foods, like even just give it a month, like a month or two of single ingredient foods, you no longer crave the crap and like you no longer feel good eating the crap. Not that you felt good before, you just didn't have a baseline difference. But once you start, you have that baseline comparison and you're like, oh, this actually makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
Because we're not meant to eat that crap.
Well, and most of the clients that I get that come to me that are personal trainers or pretty savvy, they know their way around a nutrition label. they've like hit this plateau, like they just can't reach that next level with their physique. They don't want to compete, but like they're trainers and they have online fitness businesses or whatnot. I've got quite a few that kind of fit that niche. And
Same.
every single time it comes down to what foods they're eating, not how much.
A hundred
And we can
percent.
almost double their food intake. They'll drop weight if we stop eating all of like the processed crap. And I try to tell, like, show me a person that got fat eating fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
Like, show me a person that got fat eating meats and fruits and veggies and like rice and single ingredient food. They're not out there.
No. And like I've even had clients that have had, a little bit of like insulin resistance, a little bit of blood sugar issues. And, I would have them on macros and you're like, okay, we're doing lower carbs, like maybe 120 grams of carbs, but they were still trying to play that macro Tetris, right? And so I'm sitting there saying, like, I want your carbs to be coming from fruits and veggies, but then all of a sudden we've got granola in there and, protein treats and all the other shit that shouldn't be there, and we're not seeing a change in blood glucose. And then as soon as you switch them over to like whole foods, blood glucose stabilizes, right? We see that the fasted and postprandial drop. I can feed them way more. I can up their
Hmm.
carbs, almost double their carbs, because it matters about those food choices.
Yeah.
And it's
And the
just
pairings
wild that like
and the
people don't
pairings.
realize it because we've been so brainwashed that it's like, oh, it's just macros or oh, it's just calories in, calories out. And it's like, I wish it was that simple.
Right. Our job would be so ChatGPT could do our job if it was that simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also too, like the pairings, the people definitely downplay the importance of a well-balanced meal,
Yeah.
especially people that are insulin resistant or that feel like, it's always the people that are like, oh, I can't eat carbs. Carbs make me fat. It's like, yeah, but are you eating balanced meals? Are you eating good quality carbs? Or are you eating a legendary Pop Tart?
Yeah.
Like, are you eating- like what is it that you're trying to have here? And yeah, so that's always it's always key is food choices. And then too, just the I think we were also talking about I also had another client and she's an older woman and she's so fun. Her and her husband both work with me and they're like the cutest ever. Um and she's like, I want to understand macros. And I was like, oh, okay, I love that. I love that you want to like have the education. And so I started explaining to her and she was like, no, she was like, but the meal plan, I want you to tell me like what the macros are so I can make swaps. And I was like, well, you have your list of swaps. Because my meal plans, they come with like, like interchangeable carbs and interchangeable proteins and veggies and whatever. I was like, you have your list of swaps. And she's like, well, if something is 20 carbs, like, and I forget the example that she used, but like it was like a bagel or something. And I was like, that's not going to be equivalent to your bowl of Greek yogurt and mango with a drizzle of honey. Like that's not the same. It's not going to process the same. And she's insulin
It's not
resistant,
going
the
to have
whole
the
thing.
same
And
physiological effect.
it was so cute. It was so cute. And then she's the first one, and she's like, I haven't lost any weight this week. I think I've plateaued. We need to do something different. Like, she's so cute. So I plan
Oh,
on always telling her, like, your food choices matter. And number one, you can't lose weight every single week.
yeah. That's what I think a lot of people don't understand is like it's not linear. Scale, like weight loss is not linear. You're gonna have weeks where you're up, you're gonna have weeks when you're down, you're gonna have weeks when you plateau. That doesn't mean things aren't working. It doesn't mean things aren't changing, but like it's not gonna be this steady slope down every week. I wish.
That would be so cool. I mean, there should be, in my opinion, especially if you're like in a contest prep setting, like you're going to have like, a range of what you're expecting, like an average rate of loss that you need to achieve, but it's
I've
never
had
going to be
contest
linear. It's never going
preps
to be like,
where,
I'm losing 1.25 pounds per week. Like,
yeah. I mean, I've had contest preps where I literally didn't lose anything. My weight maintained for 8 weeks, but I stayed the same, like, but my body composition was getting leaner, right? So there's always those instances as well, especially like if you're training hard and your body composition is changing, that matters more than that scale going down. I mean, I told you about my one client who sent me the picture, yes, the couple days ago of this pair of pants that she used to like muffin top over really, really badly, right? And her weight hasn't changed with us working together. But now she can put on those pants and there's a gap in the waistband, right? Like there was like a good couple inches. And it's like, yeah, I mean, your body composition has completely changed. I mean, it looks like you've lost 15 to 20 pounds, but that scale has stayed the same.
That's
And that doesn't
amazing.
mean we're failing. I mean,
Shoot, that's amazing. And yeah, when
yeah,
you said that, I was like, man, if I could weigh 150 pounds fully shredded on stage, I'd be so freaking happy.
yeah,
Like,
right.
you
And I
know, it all
think,
comes down to your composition. And I think that's a huge win if you maintain if you maintain your weight, but you've lost your body fat and added muscle just for longevity. I mean, that should be celebrated way more than somebody that, you know, lost some weight and didn't have any muscle composition.
yeah, or the people that are losing weight, but they're actually losing lean mass because they're starving themselves. Like,
On
that's not a
Ozempic.
win. Part of, oh, yeah, exactly.
They refuse to eat because they're on Ozempic, so they have a chocolate chip cookie once a day.
Yeah. And they're like, well, I've lost 30 pounds. And it's like, yeah, but you've lost all your lean mass. You're skinny fat now. Like, who wants to be skinny fat?
Yeah. Yeah. I was having a conversation with somebody at the gym, and he had said that his dad was on Ozempic and that he had lost, I forget what the number was, but it was impressive. It was like 60 or 70 pounds or something. And he was like, but he eats like 500 calories a day, and I'm worried about him. And so he's like, you know, from your perspective, what do you think? And he was like, I got to get him off of the Ozempic. And I was like, no, you got to build healthy habits with him while he has the tool in place. Because as soon as you take him
Absolutely.
off of it, his appetite is going to be through the freaking roof. And right now, he has no metabolism. His thyroid is tank. His gastric fucking emptying is in the toilet. He has no digestive enzymes. And then he's going to eat like how he used to. And he's going to be hungry. I was like, no. So we were talking about it. And I was like, I'm a huge believer in a GLP-1 or a GIP, but you have to do it the right way.
And that's what I tell all of my clients. Like whenever they come to me and they have questions about GLP-1s or the GIPs, and I'm like, I'm a big fan. I am a big, big fan, but I'm a big fan of microdosing them, not doing traditional doctors' dosings of them, which is ridiculous in some instances. And but you have to learn the healthy habits. You have to be weight training. You have to be getting in movement. You have to be learning the nutritional habits. Otherwise, all you're doing is starving yourself. You're going to get off it. You're going to rebound. You're going to gain way more body fat than you had before because you've lost all this lean mass. It's going to bite you in the ass, right? And that's why I think, especially Ozempic and stuff like that, gets such a bad rap because people are not pairing it with learning
Hmm.
habits they need to. So, like, it is an amazing tool that helps with inflammation and repairing your body's metabolic function and insulin sensitivity and all of these things when used in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, well, we both know that doctors are kind of doing a disservice, or these weight loss clinics are doing a disservice because they don't prioritize maintaining or building muscle while you're using it. And so the weight that you're losing, like you said, a lot of it is lean mass, and lean mass is your metabolic freedom. Like that keeps your metabolism revving. And so if you lose all this lean mass, or AKA your muscle, your metabolism is it's you're just not burning as many calories at rest, and everything is slowed down. And so it's a it's
Yeah,
a slippery slope.
it is a slippery slope.
I feel
Yes.
like we've gone everywhere today.
We've covered a lot of grounds. We haven't talked about money. Should we talk about money?
We should always talk about money.
I think we should always talk about money.
Like,
We should love money, respect money, talk about money, celebrate money.
I feel like we should always talk about money in a fully grateful way, obviously. Which actually that's kind of a good place to start, man, isn't it? We
Yeah.
just had this conversation within our own team about, you know, setting financial goals and how important it is to have goals, but then also be really, really grounded in how is this going to serve the greater good? And, if you let that greed kind of take over of I'm going to buy 10 boats and 10 cars, then you're not going to ever receive that sum of money. And from an energetic or from the universe or from a spiritual point, you're not ready to hold that if that's your first instinct is all the shit that you're going to buy. And
Yeah.
so you really have to get connected with, what does that really mean to you? What if you were given $1,000,000 tomorrow? Is your first instinct, I'm gonna go out and buy 10 boats and jet skis and a Lambo?
Yeah.
Or is it, what good can I do and who can I serve and how can I help and how can I be of service?
And I think, well, we've talked about this so much and you know how passionate I am about that, but like your why has to be bigger than you, right? Your why has to be rooted in who do you help? And most often that person that you want to help is some version of you that needed the help, right? So like it's not something esoteric. It's that version of you that needed that help when you got started. Um, and we all need help. We all need more. We're here for more. I mean, that's something I firmly believe. I mean, it's why my knuckles say evermore, because like we were put here for more. We weren't put here to scrape by. We weren't put here to struggle and hustle and all of that. Like we were put here to remember who we are, and what we deserve, and that we're worthy for existing. If we weren't worthy, we wouldn't exist. And we're put on this planet to receive more, but part of that receiving is remembering that we're also here to be of service to others, not just ourselves.
Right, right, and that service can look and feel so many different ways to, so many different people. Some people are serving through their art or through their craft or performance or what have you. Everybody's kind of giving back in their own unique way. Well, not everybody, but the ones usually the ones, that are abundant, and, I think it's really important to just kind of connect with that, and we were having that conversation within our own team, and our team is growing, and it's so freaking fun, it's so fun, but our little team is growing and doing so well, and that was kind of a hot topic this week is, what's your why and why does it matter to you? And yeah, it's really cool to share financial wins and to say this is how much I'm making and it's not taking all of my time and I'm not hustling and I'm not grinding and I'm not, selling and pushing and forcing and all the things. But at the same time, why? Why does it matter so much to you? Why, what impact is it having on your life and those around you rather than just, look at all this money.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing is yeah, the money's great. We all want money. We all need money to survive. It is an energetic exchange, but I think part of having respect for money is celebrating what it can do, not only for yourself, but those in your life and knowing that you want to help people. I mean, both you and I mean, our mission in this business is to help as many people as we can, to create freedom for as many people as we can, but also to create generational wealth in our own bloodlines, right? Um, and I think that's something that's available to everybody. I think, this kind of ties back into what we were talking about with like clients not getting out of their own way. And so and just discussing that at the functional health side about like I can give you the plan and if you're not willing to do anything, that also comes into the business side and the energetic side of it as well. Like you can be saying I want more wealth, I want more freedom, I want more overflow, but if you're acting like the person who is broke, if your identity is tied up into that person who has to struggle, has to hustle, then you're never going to get it, right? Until you make your nervous system feel safe to receive more and that you're worthy of more and you actually believe there's more out there for you, you're always going to struggle no matter what anybody does or gives to you, right? Like that's something with our team today. I gave them all an identity audit and saying like, who are you being? Like, get really honest with yourself and like, what are your limiting beliefs right now? What are your limiting beliefs around money? Like, who are you being? What is the story you're telling yourself? And then the person that you would be who had $1 million or $10,000 months or $20,000 months, like whatever the goal is, what do they believe about themselves? how do they act? How do they go about their day? Are they procrastinating every day? Are they telling a story that they don't have enough? Do they believe they have to hustle for that money or struggle? Probably not, right? They're probably telling themselves a very, very different story. And so you have to identify the version of you that has everything that you want. Who are they? And how do you start acting like them now so that you can collapse that timeline?
Yeah. Yeah. And getting rid of that fear. And I saw something and it was are you really scared? Like, is your fear failure? Or are you just scared to be seen trying?
Yeah.
Like, are you scared to be seen trying, or are you really scared of failure? Like, which one is it? And I think a lot of people, if they were really, really real with themselves, a lot of the reason why they don't, put themselves out there is they're just scared to be seen as somebody who's trying.
And that always boggles my mind because I want to see people trying. I want to see people passionate. I want to see what you give a shit about. I do not care about what you have. I care about who you are and how you're showing up, right? Like, I want to see what you're passionate about. But if you think like so many people just get so caught up in giving a shit about what somebody's going to say. It's like, why do you care about the bitch you knew from high school 15 years ago, what she's going to say about you promoting your business online? Who cares? Do you want to be her? Probably not.
Right?
Why do you care? Why are you making yourself small to appease people that you don't actually give a shit about?
We were talking about it earlier in our group, right? With Kim K and her crazy,
Yeah.
hairy, hairy bush thongs that she just came out with.
I
Like,
can't
the
even believe.
audacity of that product. Like,
Yeah.
who at what at no point was she taken aback? Did she have a pause and say, "I wonder what Susan from high school is gonna say if I put out some hairy bush undies?" No. She was like, "I'm gonna put this out there. It's gonna be iconic. People are gonna talk about this. They're gonna
And
talk
they're
about my
sold
business
out.
on Instagram. It's gonna go crazy." And who gives a flying fuck what anybody has to say?
Yeah,
And that's why she's a billionaire.
exactly. And that's what more people need to adopt. Like, I won't lie, when I first started this business, I had a little bit of that fear. Like, what are people going to think, right? Like, I am Coach C. I have been Coach C for however long. I've only ever posted about functional health, coaching, bodybuilding, that type of stuff. I had that pause of like, well, what are people going to think, right? Are people going to think less of me because I'm doing this new business? And then I stopped and I said, fuck it. I don't care. The people that aren't going to respect me for what I am posting or this new business, they're not meant to be in my life, right? I
Right.
don't need that energy. I don't care what Susan from high school thinks, right? And so, yeah, me posting about this business, maybe that's my fucking furry bush thong underwear. I don't care. It's like I am passionate about it and it's a true vehicle for freedom. Who fucking cares? I mean, if Kim K can sell out fucking
They're
Harry,
sold out.
yeah, if she can sell out Harry fucking bush underwear, you can believe in yourself for 2 seconds and not give a shit what Susan from high school thinks.
You know what, too? What a crazy part of evolving and your journey into whether it's spiritual or adulthood or maturity or whatever you want to call it, right? You always lose people that you weren't expecting to lose.
Yeah.
And it is like, okay, okay, bye. Like, if you're not going to support me, I mean, when anytime you make a big life change or you shift something about yourself, you go on a weight loss journey, you decide you want to be a bodybuilder, you decide you want to be a power lifter, you're going to go do train for a marathon, you're going to start a new business. Like, there's always going to be somebody that's like has their fucking little naysay comments.
Yeah.
And I can't believe she's doing that. And then when you do it, they're going to be like, "How did you do it?"
Yeah.
How did you do that?
And you know what's so funny? I remember this like when I started bodybuilding, you lose a lot of friends because all of a sudden they can't relate to you anymore, right?
Hmm.
They can't relate to the version of you that doesn't go out and party every weekend or doesn't eat the shit. And, they're the ones that are telling you you're not fun anymore because you don't live life the same way anymore. And it sucks. And I've seen a lot of people quit bodybuilding because they couldn't handle that, right? Because they didn't want to let go of those people in their life. But to me, a true friend is someone who supports you even if they don't understand what you're doing, right? If you came to me and you said, Chandra, I have this business idea, I want to make Harry Bush underwear, I would be like, bitch, you are crazy. I
You're
love you.
wild,
I
but
support
bet.
you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I trust your vision. Let's fucking go. Right? That's what a true friend does. And yet there's a lot of people in your life that they only relate to you because you're miserable like they are. And
Yeah.
when you start having more for yourself, you hold yourself to a higher standard, those people can't come with you. And that's okay. It's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to say, you know what? I loved this person at that time in my life, but we didn't grow together anymore. And that's
Hmm.
okay. There's always going to be that next version friend that comes along, right? Because the universe never takes something away without replacing it with something better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, just looking back at, I mean, anybody who watches this can look back at their own life. And I mean, honestly, ask yourself, are you the same person that you were when you were 15, when you were 25, when you're 30? Like, are you the same version of yourself, or have you grown and evolved the way that you think, the way that you move, the way that you interact with people, how you show up for yourself, how you show up for others? Like I look back at 25-year-old me and I was successful, but I don't identify as that person at all. Like,
Yeah,
who was she? She was embarrassing in a lot of ways.
right? I
Like,
don't
who
identify with
was
the person I
she?
was a year ago, let alone now.
Fair, fair. Yeah.
So, yeah, we all need to have the balls to go make some Harry Bush underwear and not apologize for it.
Yes. Yep. Man, oh man, that sent me. That freaking sent me. I'm like, man, if she can do that and you're telling me you're too scared to book a call to find out about a new business, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Oh, that reminds me, we were talking about this earlier about, for anybody like listening to this that doesn't know, when anybody's interested in our secondary business, our passive stream of income, we always book a call with them because it just makes it so much easier to show what we are doing. But if you're not willing to take 20 minutes, then you're not really interested. And like, why would we want to partner with people who aren't willing to do something to help themselves, right? Like if you're not willing to show up for yourself, why would we want to partner with you? Like that's
well,
such
and
a
not only
weird
that, but
energy.
like, you're not doing us any favors by getting the information from us that's helping.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to help you. You're reaching out to us so we can say, this is what we're doing. This is the roadmap. If you want to do it with us, cool, we'll show you the way. If
Yeah.
not, no hard feelings. But it's surprising because I've had a few people reach out to me and they're like, oh my God, like I really need a secondary stream of income. I've seen that you've, found something that's working for you. Can you share the details with me? And I'm always like, absolutely. I'd love to share the details with you. It's confusing as shit. So let me get you on a quick call and I'll walk you through everything. And I'm surprised by the people that are like, oh no, I don't want to get on a call. Just send me the information here. Like,
And it's like it doesn't
you
work
want
that
like
way.
you want my help, but you also want me to inconvenience myself to help you.
Yeah. And like I would
Like,
be
I don't.
doing both of us a disservice by trying to explain this to you in the DMs and like think of it like a job interview, right? Like if you really wanted a job and you're like, yeah, that sounds exactly like what I need. I need this extra income. And they're like, okay, come in for an interview. And you're like, no, no,
Can you
you,
just come by my house?
yeah, can you just tell me like we're talking. Can we just
Just
do it
let me know
here?
if you like my resume or not, because I'm
Yeah.
good. Like,
Yeah.
It's just so weird. It's
It's a
just so
weird
weird. And like
energy.
I think too, people are like so they just assume that maybe like what we're saying isn't true, or maybe like, there's some sort of a catch, or like I don't know, like it's gonna be like we're genuinely sharing, like, this is what this person's making, this is what this person's making, like, everybody's doing really well. If you
Yeah.
need some income, we can show you the way that we're doing it. If not, that's cool too, like, there's no hard feelings here. It either is something you wanna do or you don't. If you do, cool. If not, cool.
Yeah.
Like, they act like, like, I don't know,
I don't know.
it's
It's so
something out
and
of
then, like,
taking the time to explain it all to them.
yeah, and I mean, I get it. There's a lot of like scams out there and there's a lot of whatever, but it's like you reached out to me. I will never reach out to you about this business. Like you reached out to me, you want the information. This is how we do it so that you can understand and you can see. I am never going to harass you about it. I'm never going to ask you about it again. Like I might, well, besides, saying like, "Hey, do you have any questions?" That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I don't know, but I think too I think too that there's just something magical about the people that link arms with us.
Oh yeah. You
And
have such a cool team. I'm so pumped for us.
we really do. We really do. And you know what too? It's almost like divine intervention in some way, because like the people that we probably wouldn't want to work with, or like they remove their self from the selection.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the universe, right? The universe is doing the heavy lifting for us. I mean, the universe is bringing the aligned people to us. The universe is removing those who aren't. And I'm always so, so grateful for that because I totally trust that those who are meant to will find us and those who aren't will fade away.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I feel like this has been an hour. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let me get off of this live here. How do I do it?
Okay, I'll close this one too. And now. All
All
right.
right. Like, thanks for hanging out with us on the Quantum Body Podcast, where we talk all things that really move the needle: gut health, hormone balance, nervous system regulation, mindset, manifesting your dream reality from the inside out.
Like, follow, and subscribe for all things functional health and quantum healing. Want to go deeper with us? You can find us on Instagram at Coach C Wellness and Crystal_Stretch. Your transformation starts now. Let's rise.